What is going on, Vault Dwellers, and hopefully you're having a great and wonderful day out there in the wasteland. Friends, today we're going to be talking about some tips for running the different stages in the new raid feature that just came to Fallout 76. We just got our Gleaming Eradicator title, so that means that we have beat every stage in the new raid feature 76 times so far, and y'all, we actually beat the developer record from Bethesda for start to finish on completing the raid. Y'all sit back, relax, and let's talk about it. Now, on a recent Twitter post, Bill Lacoste and John Rush were answering some questions about the raid feature, and there was a question asked, is there a developer record for completing a raid? And they said just under 20 minutes, and y'all, the time that we hit was 17:09 from start to finish. That's everything in between, but if you cut everything down, it was 11 minutes and 36 seconds, and this time can be so much better. But as far as a tip in fighting this Guardian, you see down there on the bottom those little lights on the bottom hand side. If you step on a platform right on that spot, there will be a circuit board that opens up, and you can destroy that circuit board and it'll make the Guardian start to short circuit. But one thing I would always say, if you're going in with a heavy gun, make sure reflective is on, because I do a lot more damage with my reflective against their shield than anything at all. But as you can see right here, VATSing in and just making sure you're doing some damage will definitely take the Guardian out, but just make sure to have those stim packs ready. And now if you're interested in knowing what our preferred heavy raid build is, we are going to be putting that video out very soon within the next day or two. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon to have notifications turned on to YouTube. And while you're down there, drop us a like if you like the video. And now look, I know going to get gas canisters can be a scary moment for you and the other Vault Dwellers inside of this stage in the raid, but y'all, it's absolutely a great thing for everybody to go out and get the gas canisters, because as you can see on the bottom of the screen, we did this in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. We've even got it down to about 2 minutes and 1 second and 2 minutes and 3 seconds respectively, and it's a great little thing because all you need to do is just take out the mole rats. You don't even have to hit the mole miners, and you'll see in this run where I just jump over the mole miner, the one-hit wonder, the old green goblin, the old unicorn themselves. I just jump over them. So one thing you always want to have is spatial awareness, because of the simple fact that there's a lot of tunnels where you don't have the height preference where you can jump back or anything like that. But make sure that you are listening out, because they definitely make some noises. But now, even if you die in stage 2, the fun is not over yet, because while you are spectating one of your friends, if you are in area chat, you can actually talk into your mic and your voice will come from their body, and you can have a conversation with that teammate, or you can just make fart noises like Shasti does when he's spectating me, and then I have to say, oh, sorry guys, I had some beans today. And now you'll notice as I'm running through here, I am leaving gas canisters that are right outside the door. That way, when we get down to where we have 2 or 3 left, we can just get those and finish as quickly as possible. But as you're seeing, I'm jumping around, I'm making sure that I have spatial awareness, I'm trying my best not to, run into them, and sometimes you are going to just run straight into them. Just keep running through, because in my time of doing all of these raids, as long as they don't make a punch animation, it seems like we don't die instantly. And now you may be wanting to run to the same exact side to gather some gas canisters every time that you run this stage in the raid, but make sure to learn the different gas canister spawn locations, because the amount of gas canisters that spawn in the locations can vary. Like on the right hand side, sometimes there can be 3 spawns or even 5 spawns. But just remember, have fun in the tunnels and try not to get spooked too much with that jump scare. And now in facing off against the Epsilon squad, make sure that someone is in spot A, B, and C to take out those generators, so you can take as much damage off of the first squad member as possible before the other 2 spawn in. And there will be iBots that will repair the generators throughout the fight, and it seems to be that only 2 of the 3 get picked after that first little bit, so hopefully you get an A and a C, because you don't have to jump up to cover B. But it's something that when B is chosen, I like to sit up on top of the stairs and do some damage from afar. But as you can see right here, we are taking these iBots out as they go by, and it's a great way to make sure that you can do as much damage as humanly possible to the squad as it goes along. And now it's inevitable that the iBots are going to repair these generators throughout this fight, so just make sure to have a team member that is positioned near one of the chosen spots, and if you can pull the Epsilon squad apart to where you can have 2 Vault Dwellers on one side and 2 Vault Dwellers on another side with the other squad member, this is absolutely great because you're not going to be too far away from the generators as they get repaired. And also, if you can pull the Epsilon squad inside of the generator room and you have an explosive weapon, you can actually be doing damage to both the squad and the iBots at the same time. And now there is a chance for the Epsilon squad to pass through the wall, and it's quite funny when it happens, but yes, you can still shoot them. You may have to move around because you'll be like, oh, I think I'm doing some damage right now, but you're actually not, and then they phase right back into the stairs, so it's an absolute great thing that happens. But we have had it one time happen to where they were in a wall and we had to throw plasma grenades and just all sorts of grenades with a Tesla cannon and all this sort of stuff. But yes, definitely keep an eye for this, and Bloodhound is the one with the cauterizer that will do a lot of damage to you throughout the time, and that's the one we like to focus first. But now Lynx isn't a slouch either, because with that grenade launcher, the Resolve Breaker, it will soak up all of your AP, and that's why when facing them or being shot by them, your AP goes to 0. And now as far as it goes with taking out the Mole Miner and the other animals inside of the security lockdown stage of the raid, you want to try to focus on the Mole Miner at first, but make sure that you are doing some damage to the other animals inside of that, because the Death Claws and the Wendigos have a certain part of this stage where they will actually spawn in, but not before then. You have to get some kills on the other animals, but as you can see right here, we try our best to group up the animals around crystals, and you just sit here and do stim packs and stuff like that, but we try to be out of each other's way and lead it on a small little maze, and that way we can take out the Mole Miner as soon as possible, because the Mole Miner is a one-hit wonder, correct? But the animals are not. You do have to watch out though for the damage from the poison that the crystals put off, and these small crystals have small AoE effects and not the biggest damage proponent. And the big crystals, there's 3 big crystals, 1 on each side and in the middle, but these have bigger AoE effects and bigger damage hits to the animals inside of here. But as you can see, we are just rope-a-doping this thing around, trying to get it up to get around these crystals, because we don't want to be standing around in one space with the Mole Miner alive, but we will stand in one space. We'll have someone designate to get everybody all underneath one of the big crystals, one of the middle crystals. And one of the things I will warn you about is rubber banding inside of Fallout 76. I can't tell you how many times it's happened to where I am jumping around and all of a sudden get hit from the Mole Miner, and I'm like, I was like 20-30 foot away from him, but in a split second in looking back at the recording, I see myself being right there at the Mole Miner from rubber banding. But each side can have things spawn inside of those little rooms right there that you're seeing, or in the cave system, and if you're missing one, make sure to go check those rooms, check the caves, the entrances and stuff like that, even the little walkway in the back side that connects the 2 sides together, because a Wendigo or a cave cricket or something like a mole rat could just be hiding out in one of those spots because they didn't get a direct path onto the player. But as you can see, I basically just stand around. Tristan, Shasti, Greg, everybody will just go around, pull different things. We'll switch off from time to time. I'll go down and pull stuff up to the middle, the left, or the right, and we'll just hang out in one of the spots. And if you can, pick a spot that doesn't have any poison. That's absolutely wonderful, because then you don't have to stim pack or anything like that. But in doing it this way right here with some RNG, you can do a sub 3-minute time. We got it in 3 minutes and 13 seconds. And yes, sometimes the mole rat will not want to actually leave its entrance. Make sure that everyone is on the complete and opposite side, and you'll see that it does the cha-cha slide out of that hole a little bit, but sometimes it'll moonwalk throughout the bit. And I hate it when it happens, but it is something that happens. If it continues to happen to you and your team, just make sure to restart the raid and come back, and it should fix it. And then we have the final stage of the raid, where you face off against Butch, the Ultracite snake, and whether it be the poison, the breath attack, or just the absolute physical attack that the snake has, it can definitely be a deadly one if you are not paying attention. But hey, if you have a jetpack, or you can just jump and time it perfectly, the breath attack that pushes you back does not affect you while you're in the air. So if you have a jetpack and he starts to do the breath attacks, you can actually just jump up in the air and hover for a minute, and it won't affect you and it will not push you off the island. But now, if you're like me, you're going to have super stim packs at the ready, because the amount of super stim packs and chems that you get from doing these raids is absolutely bonkers, and I love it. But yes, I love to have super stim packs at the ready, because the physical attack when they hit the island seems like it pushes the island down a little bit, and just through pressure allows the green goo, whether it be FEV, lime Gatorade, or whatever like that, push up and poisons you. Now, the snake does have no poison attack where it is tracking you through the air. I wonder how that piece of technology works, because it's crazy. It looks like when you go into VATS with the plasma and it starts tracking the scorched beast through the sky. That's exactly what these poison attacks do. So don't try to get out of the way of it. You're going to get hit with it. Just make sure to stop firing whatever gun you have and start stimming. But now, if you see that tail pop up with the health bar, make sure that you are looking around for it to ping it and let your teammates know, because if that tail hits the ground, then a chunk of that island is gone, and that will definitely make the fight a little bit harder, though it doesn't make it super hard until 3/4 of the island is gone. But now there is a universal tip that goes with every single stage inside of this new raid feature that has come to Fallout 76, and that is knowing when to wipe your character. That way you can give your team another shot in completing that stage. Like in Phase 1, if you can't do the DPS and 3 of your teammates have already been taken out and there's only 1 door left, then make sure just to go ahead and take yourself out to give your team another shot at finishing that stage. Or if you're in Stage 2 and the drill's half health and there's only been half of the gas canisters collected and 3 of your teammates are not alive, just go ahead, find one of those one-hit wonder mole miners and let them say hey to you. Same thing goes in the Epsilon squad. If there are still 2 or 3 of the Epsilon squad left and your team got taken out, just say hey to one of the squad members and ask them how their day's going. Now, Stage 4 is a little bit different, because this one's actually better to do by yourself or with just one other vault dweller. So if you can actually solo this, just continue on and see if you can finish it out for your teammates. But as far as Stage 5 goes, it's a DPS sort of thing. If you can't do the DPS to take out the snake, if it's got over a quarter amount of health left and you've already had 2 spots of the island taken out, sometimes it's good just to see if that liquid really is lime Gatorade. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day to check this video out, and let me know how you're enjoying the raids, or if you're on PC and you'd like to run some raids sometime. My name's Fargassier. It's the same as it is on YouTube inside of Fallout 76, so make sure to shoot me a friend request. Again, if you're on PC, I don't play PlayStation or Xbox nearly as much as I should, but thank you so much to the channel members for the continued support. Y'all have a great, wonderful day out there in the wasteland. Peace. Love ya.